Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we share extraordinary near-death experiences stories all over the world. Today's story about Sophie who couldn't believe that her death was God's plan. Now, lay back, relax and let's begin. Sophie had always loved the water. As a child, she spent countless hours swimming in the lake behind her family's house. She loved the way the cool water felt against her skin and the way the sunlight danced on the surface. It was her happy place, the one place where she felt truly alive. But one summer day, Sophie's love for the water almost became her undoing. She had been swimming alone, lost in her thoughts, when she realized that she had gone too far from shore. Panic set in as she tried to swim back, but the current was too strong. She was soon gasping for air and struggling to stay afloat. As Sophie began to slip beneath the surface, she felt a sudden calm wash over her. She saw a bright light in the distance, and she felt herself being pulled toward it. She wasn't afraid anymore, and she didn't feel any pain. All she could think was, "This is it. This is how I die." But as she drew closer to the light, she realized that she wasn't alone. There was a figure in the light, a being of pure light and love. The being reached out a hand to Sophie and said, "Come with me." Sophie felt an overwhelming sense of peace and trust, so she took the being's hand. Together, they floated toward the light, and Sophie felt a warmth and a sense of belonging that she had never experienced before. As they drew closer, Sophie realized that they were approaching a gate that led to heaven. She felt a surge of excitement and anticipation. She had always believed in heaven, but she had never imagined that she would get to see it so soon. The gate opened, and Sophie and the being stepped through. What Sophie saw was beyond anything she could have imagined. There were fields of wildflowers stretching as far as the eye could see, and trees that glowed with a soft, golden light. There were streams of crystal-clear water, and animals of every kind, from tiny songbirds to majestic elephants. But what struck Sophie most were the people. There were people everywhere, people of all ages and races and walks of life. They were laughing and talking and singing, and they all seemed so happy and peaceful. Sophie felt a sense of belonging and acceptance that she had never felt before. Suddenly, a voice spoke to Sophie. It was a deep, booming voice, but it was also gentle and kind. "Welcome, Sophie," the voice said. "I am God." Sophie felt a sense of awe and wonder wash over her. She had never imagined that she would meet God, but here he was, standing before her. "Your time on earth is not yet over," God said. "But I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you your past lives." Sophie felt a surge of confusion. Past lives? She had never believed in reincarnation or anything like that. But God just smiled and gestured for Sophie to follow him. Together, they walked through a golden archway and into a room filled with light. There were screens everywhere, and Sophie realized that each screen showed a different scene from a different time and place. She saw herself as a young woman, walking through a field of wheat, holding a sick child in her arms. She saw herself as a soldier, sacrificing her life to save her fellow soldiers. She saw herself as a nurse, tending to the wounded in a war zone. She saw herself as a mother, giving everything she had to care for her children. As Sophie watched these scenes, she realized that she recognized each one. She felt a deep sense of connection to each life, a sense of purpose and meaning that she had never felt before. God spoke again. "Sophie, you have lived many lives, and in each life, you have shown incredible bravery, kindness, and compassion. You have always been a force for good, helping those in need and making the world a better place." Sophie felt a surge of emotion, but she also felt a sense of confusion. "But why did you show me this?" she asked. God looked at Sophie with kindness in his eyes. "I showed you this because I want you to know that your life has a purpose. You are not here by accident, Sophie. You are here because you have a mission to help others and to make the world a better place. Sophie felt a sense of understanding wash over her. She had always felt a drive to help others, to make a difference in the world. Now she knew why. It was because of her past lives, because of the experiences and lessons she had learned along the way. But then God spoke again. Sophie, you have a choice to make. You can stay here, in heaven, and continue your journey. Or you can return to your life on earth, knowing what you know now. Sophie felt a sense of panic wash over her. She had always believed in heaven, but now that she was here, she didn't want to leave. She wanted to stay in this place of love and peace forever. But then she thought of her daughters, back on earth. She thought of the things she still had left to do, the people she still had left to help. And she realized that her mission wasn't over yet. There was still work to be done, still love to be given. Sophie looked at God and took a deep breath. I choose to go back, she said. I choose to finish my mission. God smiled at Sophie, and she felt a sense of warmth and love wash over her. Very well, he said. I will send you back, and you will know what you need to do. But remember, Sophie, you are never alone. I am always with you, and I will always guide you. And then Sophie felt herself being pulled back toward her body, back toward life. She felt a sense of peace and understanding, and she knew that everything was going to be okay. When she woke up, she was lying on the beach, with people gathered around her, trying to revive her. She coughed up water and took a deep breath, and then she looked around. And she knew that she had made the right choice. She had a mission, a purpose, and she was going to fulfill it, no matter what it took. Because she knew that in the end, it was all worth it. Sophie was discharged from the hospital after a few days, and she went home to be with her daughters. She felt a renewed sense of love and appreciation for them, and she vowed to make the most of every moment they had together. Sophie began to volunteer more in her community, helping those in need and spreading love and compassion wherever she went. She became an advocate for environmental protection, animal welfare, and human rights. She used her past life experiences to guide her actions and decisions, always striving to make a positive impact on the world. Sophie's NDE had a profound impact on her life, and it taught her to live with purpose, love, and compassion. She knew that she was never alone, and that God was always with her, guiding her along the way. In the end, Sophie's story is a testament to the power of resilience, the importance of purpose, and the transformative power of love and compassion. Her NDE taught her that life is precious, and that we should make the most of every moment we have. And it reminded her that, no matter how difficult things may seem, there is always a way forward.